Okay guys, today I am going to show you how to format an Unbound report. And remember, an Unbound report is a short report that's generally prepared without covers or binders. They can consist of 2 or more pages, and they're fastened together in the upper left-hand corner by a staple or paper clip. That is why they're called an Unbound report. So I took the Samuel Clemens document from Moodle, and we're going to go ahead and format that in hopes that this will help you before your LEOC. The first thing I would do I would change the styles to no spacing like you're familiar with. And then the second thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and change the page margins. So the first page margin is 2 inch on the top, 1 inch on the left, right, and bottom. So let's do that. We're going to change the margins for the first page. Go to Custom Margins, change the top from 1 inch to 2 inch, and make sure that's applied to the whole document, and then hit OK. Alright, then the second thing I would do is I would go ahead and let's insert the page numbers. So you can do that a couple of different ways. You can go to Insert, go to the header and footer group, and go to Page Number, but I like to just use the shortcut, which is just double click up in the top to open up the header. And then you're going to come over here to the left, go to Page Number. It's going to go at the top of the page and all the way to the right, so you're going to choose plain number 3. Now we don't want the 1 to show up on the first page, but we do want it to continue numbering like it did down here with page 2. So to take off that 1 without altering the page numbers for the following pages, you come up here to where it says Options, and you're going to check mark Different First Page. And if it doesn't take the 1 away, actually mine did, but sometimes it does not take the 1 away, so if it doesn't, then you just delete it. And if you'll notice, page number 2 is still there, but it took off the page number on page 1. Alright, so we're going to close out of the header. Okay. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to format the title. So I'm going to select the title. Oh, actually before I do that, most reports are going to be in Times New Roman. So let's go ahead and change that now. So I'm going to hit Control A to select the whole document, and I'm going to change it to Times New Roman. This is just a teacher preference, but most of the time teachers for MLA reports or Unbound reports will like Times New Roman. And then the font size will be 12. Okay. Alright, now that we've got that done, what we're going to do is go ahead and format the title. So the title should be in bold. So we're going to come up here to the font, bold. The title should also be centered. It should be 14 point, and then it should be all caps. So instead of retyping the Samuel Clemens Mark Twain, come up here to your font group and go to your change case icon and then change it to all uppercase. Alrighty. Now you're supposed to quadruple space, so I'm going to hit enter 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So if I put on my paragraph marks, I should have 3 paragraph marks in between. Okay? Alright, so then the next thing is the body of the report should be double spaced. So I'm going to go ahead and somehow we've got an extra page here, so let me fix that. Make sure that looks okay. Okay, looks good there. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and select the body. I'm going to select everything up to the references, but I'm not going to select the references. And then you can come here to the paragraph group. Make sure that says 0, spacing before and spacing after, and then make sure that says double. So this was already set at double spacing. Okay. Alright, so the next thing we're going to address is each of the paragraphs needs to be indented. So just click in front of each of the paragraph and hit your tab. Hopefully I can tell where each of the paragraphs start. Okay, I think marked Twain. Okay, I'm going to come back to this. This is the side heading. Right now I'm just trying to get all these. Okay, that looks like I got all of the paragraphs indented. So now we're going to go address the side headings. Now the side headings are right here, like the Adventure of Tom Sawyer. Okay, so that should be in bold. And some teachers will ask you to, instead of having it in bold, to underline it, but we're going to go ahead and bold it. So that sets it apart. Let's see, and it's left aligned 12 point. I think there was a couple more in here. Okay, here's another one, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. So we're going to make that one bold, and it's already 12. Alright. Alright, so we've got, oops, see, now it put the page number up there, and we don't want that, so let me click in there and delete it. And hopefully, when I close out of this, page 2 is still going to be there. And it's not. Let's try the page number again. Okay, there, it's back to normal. Sometimes Word does some funny stuff. Okay, so we got our headings. Okay, now only page 1 is supposed to have the top margin is 2. So we need to change the rest of the pages to 1. So you're going to click on page 2 before your first word, come up to Layout, Margins, Custom Margins, and we're going to change that to 1. And what you have to be careful here is you're going to change this, you're going to apply to this point forward. So it doesn't alter page 1 if you see that. But from this page forward, it's going to make it 1 inch. Okay, now we need to get rid of that indentation there. Okay. Alright, so we're almost done. So the next thing we need to do is we need to format the reference section. Okay, the reference section should be on its own page. Now don't click here and hit enter, enter, enter. That's the wrong way to do it. So the correct way to get something on its own page is to go ahead and insert a page break. You could do that a couple different ways. You can go to insert and page break. I like to, if you can remember the shortcut, just hit Control Enter. And if you notice, it put the references on the next page. Okay, but we do need to bring it up so it's up at the 1 inch mark. Now how you format the references is you basically do it the same as the title. It's got to be bold, centered, 14, and all caps. Alright, and then 1. What I would do just to make sure is I'm going to change this to single spaced so we know we get the proper spacing. Make a single, and then we're going to 1, 2, 3. Okay, so same thing like up at the top, you've got the 3 paragraph marks in between. And you'll notice we've got page 3 here, which that's correct. Okay, so now here's our references. So now our references need to be in alphabetical order by the author's last name. Or if you just, like say you're using Google, you would put Google because that's where you're getting your source from, and that's how you would alphabetize it. So I need to move Mr. Weissman, Control X, down here, Control V. So now I have these in alphabetical order. Now the references, you have to use a hanging indent, okay? So these are supposed to be single spaced with a double space in between them. But how you get a hanging indent is you're going to select all the references like I just did, right click, hit paragraph, Okay, now you need to make sure, like again here, that the line spacing should be set at 0. Both of them should be at 0. But over here under indentation, you're going to come over here and you're going to hit hanging, and that it should default to 0.5, and then hit OK. Okay, so that formatted it correctly. But what you have to do is you need to put a space in between each of these. Okay, so that is basically how you format an Unbound report. First page margin is 2 inches. There is not a page number on the first page. The title should be centered, bold, all in caps, 14 point. Should have 3 paragraph marks in between. Your paragraph should be double spaced. Each paragraph should be indented. These are called subheadings. Those should be in bold, 12 point. Same thing here. Okay, then you should insert a page break for your reference sheet. References should be centered, 14 point, all in caps and bold. Have 3 paragraph marks between the references in your first citation.